Welcome to another Hero Camper owner video. This video is about our recent-ish trip to Love to Stay in Shropshire. Did we? So thanks for tuning in to another Hero Camper owner video. So as mentioned, we went to stay at Love to Stay. It's, I think, one of the most expensive or the most expensive caravan touring parks here in the UK. If you're new to the channel, we have a Hero Camper teardrop trailer with a Jamesboro roof tent on it, and we pull that with a Polestar 2, so an electric vehicle. So one of the things I always start off with is just talking a little bit about the efficiency. So in terms of going to Love to Stay from where we stay and returning back, it was a total of around 146 miles, and we got a range efficiency of 1.41 miles per kilowatt hour. Now, if you're not familiar with electric vehicles, that might not mean anything to you. So the gasoline or the petrol miles per gallon equivalent of that whilst towing is around 47.52 miles per gallon. So that gives you a rough equivalent. And the weight of our Hero Camper with the roof tent on it and all our stuff in there is about 1.2 tonne, I think, something like that. So 1,200 kilograms, I think. So yeah, that gives you a rough idea. So yeah, we went to stay at Love to Stay at the kind of end of the season, so beginning of October 2021. So it means the price has come down a little bit because Love to Stay is actually quite expensive to stay at. But we wanted to go there to see what is the hype all about. Is it somewhere we'd like to go again? Is it worth paying, I guess, kind of the premium price to go there? So let me talk to you a little bit about some of the facilities that are there, and then obviously then what we thought about it. So some of the main selling points are, I kind of feel like it's, I don't know if there's a good equivalent, but it's like the centre parks of the caravanning world is kind of what it feels like in terms of how it's laid out and how it's advertised. So on site there is like a reception with a kind of cafe, very small restaurant area inside with outdoor seating. There's an adventure playground, and there's like a natural water swimming pool there with some hot tubs. Then there's like another little kind of it's not a natural pool, it's like a little beach pool kind of area, more meant for the kids. It's much shallower. There's a little beach on there and stuff like that. And then surrounding there is a little lake where there's kind of water sports that happen on there, like kayaking, canoeing. I think there's a pedalo on there. A big green area with a football pitch, and then kind of dotted around is a dog walking area and a dog assault course. There's like a kids barefoot nature trail and some beehives. And then towards the back, just kind of past car parking and things, there is a fitness studio, and then some activities that you can pay in addition for, like an assault course and kind of other activities that you can do which are at extra cost. And then there's a series of kind of lodges they are lodges that are near the kind of main Love to Stay area. And you go up a bit of a hill, and then there's the toilet block, and then that's where the touring kind of caravans, everything are. So we were we were right at the back, kind of overlooking a field. There was some kind of pheasants and stuff running around in there. So it's quite nice. Obviously it was quite cold. 15 degrees centigrade was the warmest whilst we were there. It got quite cold at night. And actually that's probably the first kind of negative thing for us, was just kind of how far away we were. It's quite a walk to the toilets and quite a walk to the main area. And obviously being a teardrop, we don't have toilet facilities or anything, so we have to go and use there. But setup was fine. So again, the pitches aren't that big. You can obviously fit your car side by side. Before we went there, my kids like to take their scooters with them. I called up and asked if we could take scooters. They said that scooters were not allowed. And when we got there was a sign that said no e-scooters and no go-karts. But there's actually quite a few kids going around on scooters and on e-scooters. So I guess that rule isn't that well enforced. So my kids are a little bit miffed that I hadn't let them take that stuff with them. So we set up all fine as we usually did. We obviously cook most of our meals at our Hero camper, and that's obviously where we're sleeping with our dog in the awning. This is the first time using the Jamesborough tunnel on our Jamesborough roof tent. It's basically like a little awning over the entryway, so when it rains, no rain goes into the sleeping area. It actually worked really well, so I'm happy we managed to get that before this trip, because there was a couple of nights of quite heavy rain and wind, but that worked pretty well. In terms of the dog walking, so again, the main dog walking area is back at the main site. So that was one of the things that lots of people just walking their dogs around other people's caravans and stuff. But not the end of the world, just, you know, the usual thing that I experience. It seems that kind of people are not really bothered about where they're walking their dogs, even though they're supposed to keep dogs on the lead, dogs off the lead, and stuff like that. So depends how your dog gets on with other dogs and whether you mind dogs walking into your kind of camping area and stuff, but this seems to be a general thing on the camping sites. Not many bins or dog poo bin disposal units, which I think is a bad thing. Again, there wasn't actually that much dog mess and stuff around, but I think it's just that general thing that perhaps people just couldn't be bothered because it was too far for them to walk to want to put it in the bin. Again, the toilets were quite modern looking and well laid out, but what I noticed was there wasn't really many toilets and shower units. I think maybe they're expecting most people to use the facilities in their caravan themselves. Access to the toilets are via a key card, so just kind of proximity card, you put that up and you get in. The one weird thing about the bathrooms in my perspective was most campsites that I've been to, obviously you've got toilets and showers, and then there's little rooms with a sink where you can go brush your teeth and have a wash and everything. They don't have that. Basically it's communal sinks, so you're busy kind of brushing your teeth in the morning and some dude's just walking up next to you and washing his hands, but that was a little bit odd. And they've got these kind of funky touch sensitive faucets, or the taps done by touch sensitivity, which is a bit odd again, because when you turn them on they start off hot, you have to turn them cold, you only work for a little bit of a time, so you've got to be quick when brushing your teeth. But again, not the end of the world, just again a couple of things where it feels like sometimes there's been a bit of a design over functionality, and it hasn't necessarily been designed by people that are used to caravan. I don't know. Again, we're still new to it. I guess it's working because it seems very popular, and it may just be that at this time of year, obviously, is not optimal. But we think, I guess, getting to the crutch of it, we weren't super impressed with Love to Stay, but we will try it again when it's more expensive and in season to see if things are different. When you book, you have a certain numbers of bookings that you can do for the natural pool and hot tubs area, and then the smaller kind of pool with the sanded area. So you kind of book when you want to go, and then you turn up to go in there. When we turned up at our allocated time, we were told, "Oh, don't worry about booking, just come and go as you want." And that actually was a bad thing in some ways, because it meant other people were coming and going when they wanted, as opposed to the slot that we'd booked ourselves for. I'm not sure if that's a normal thing or because of COVID that they had the booking slots or whatever. Thankfully, we were able to get a hot tub and have a little go in there. I did have a go in the water in both the natural pool and the kids' kind of area, and it was absolutely bloody freezing, as you'd expect. So that's where I think, obviously, in the better weather, hopefully it's warmer. But again, the pools actually are quite small, and there's 3 hot tubs. So if it is like a free for all, it's probably going to be quite cramped there. And the eating area and stuff isn't that big. They've got coffees and teas and cakes, and there's ice creams in there that kids had. And we did try getting food from there on the one time. So my kids had a hot dog and some nachos, and I had some meatballs. Meatballs actually weren't too bad, but for the price, and you see in the overlays, the food actually didn't look that good. So that's back to that whole thing of, it feels like they're trying to say this is a quality establishment, but lots of things didn't really feel that quality about it. They have got recycling, but again, recycling is opposite the main reception area, so you're not going to want to bring that recycling all the way down every day, so basically just store it up and bring it down when you're leaving, kind of pull over to one side. There's not much of a big area to pull over, but pull over and get rid of that. There's quite a lot of development happening there at the time we were there as well, so when I spoke to them, they're putting in more lodges. So the lodges actually seem to be the best area. If you hire a lodge, you're right close to obviously the main kind of campus and the facilities, and there's also some barbecue areas that you can hire with a flame pit and stuff. Actually pretty cool, and I think that that's obviously a good thriving part of the business, hence them putting a lot more lodges in. When you walk around kind of the area, there are a few bits where kind of behind the trees and stuff they just dumped a load of stuff, which is a bit kind of odd. But one of the really nice things actually when you come in, Love to Stay also seem to own like a garden centre and a cafe that's kind of at the entrance area, and there's a really big cool dragonfly which is kind of pretty smart. So trying to think what else. The activity play area is pretty good. It's relatively large, not something if you've got younger kids you probably will obviously need to supervise them on there, because there's things that they could climb on and get stuck and stuff. But yeah, overall it wasn't a bad site, but not in our top 5 of the sites that we've been to this year. And again, we will try it out again, but right now I don't feel like it warrants its premium price. Again, just little things. The food wasn't that great. Some of the toilet doors didn't lock properly. Not all the toilets were clean. Like things like the kids' sensory trail. You're supposed to take your feet off and go around there, but there was bottles and fag butts and all sorts of stuff around there. So again, not something that we decided to do. So again, maybe it's end of season, less staff and things. Staff didn't actually also seem that happy about being there. Again, maybe because the weather was bad or not. But I'd actually really like to know from you if you've been to Love to Stay, because I do hear lots of good things about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm too fussy. Maybe my expectations are wrong. Again, most of my experience has been with the Caravan and Motorhome Club, which again is less modern sites most of the time, but much cleaner, and it felt like better quality. And then some of the obviously other places we've been to have been pretty good, which I've mentioned on this channel. So if you've been there, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you going again? Do you agree with me? Am I kind of being too harsh? Really be interested to know. If you've liked this video and found it kind of informative, both about Love to Stay and obviously another trip in our Hero Camper Ranger, that would be great as well. Consider subscribing and pressing the bell notification icon. More videos to come. There's a few more camping trips that we went on this year that I need to upload some videos on before the end of the year. But yes, as always, thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Until the next video, that's it. Take care and bye for now.